Mr. Deity.
I'm about to let loose the beast. Ha! Hear ye, all you asshole MCs. It's time to throw a party for it's the doomsday. If you need a captain, ass crack. If you want protection, play the rear. No man in this I fear. My sound beats down for your protection. I advise you wear headgear. I spilled the beans on Bruce Wayne, known as Batman. Cape no crusader, just your average white man. Who me? I'm Black Man. More superhero than Letterman. I come equipped with joints like these to be the shit, removing the S to the back. And somehow I still make hits. Don't you look around, I need you thinking like the space between an asshole and clitoris on a 50 homeless woman. No, ain't that some shit? You bite too many styles, that's not hard to believe. Your captain's Alibaba and you, one of the 40 thieves. Trying mocking, trying to reach my levels like peas when Storm creates obese monstrous mechanisms like this. I've been around and seen a lot of MCs get wrecked from a lack of respect because there is no competition. I've been around and seen a lot of MCs get wrecked from a lack of respect because there is no competition. I've been around and seen a lot of MCs get wrecked from a lack of respect because there is no competition. There is no competition. Competition is none. God bless the child who sparks it off like the sun. Ha! You don't understand. I be black man, changing like a chameleon. I worth every bit of 6 million. MC rotisserie, they call me the colonel. From spirit, the six spice that brings about death, downfalls, and funerals. I do you stunt MCs like Knievel with my evil. Ask my lord, he broke the mold and made me the unbeatable. I am the shepherd when rhyming, bringing silence to the lambs. Clarice, with father beans and the nice candy, crumbling kingdoms that have the rulers resort to ruling shanties. Bringing crews, send them in the twos. I'm Noah. In the ring, I do him Apollo Creed. Ivan drag off the Balboa, constricting rhymes around neck, stopping breath, foot on neck. He can't breathe. Pierre, bring on tombstones and soft soil. Be all you can be. It ain't much. Ask any GI, I'm the builder, gets them caught up in the clutch. There's no survivors when they fuck around with the do or diver. Oh my God, Rizzo Rizankin is the live wire. I've been around and seen a lot of MCs get wrecked from a lack of respect because there is no competition. I've been around and seen a lot of MCs get wrecked from a lack of respect because of no competition. I've been around and seen a lot of MCs get wrecked from a lack of respect because there is no competition. There is no competition. Competition is none. God bless the child who sparks it off like the sun. I clash like the Titan, took him harder than the Kraken. Stole by the head of Medusa. Beat this maneuver. Styles of brains of challenges like the industrial Hoover. I get them open like butt cheeks on a porno freak. Have them screaming something terrible like sorority grease. I be the greatest killer of all time. These must I get about to leave him KO on couch longer than Rip Van Winkle. With a flash, furious tongue that clashes clay like Cassius Hinkle. I land on them seas like abandoned islands. Sending out SOS, some old shit you ain't heard before. Leave the fifth mark, you're soft as Birdman. I hit homers and run like OJ, spilling a Bronco on the highway. Boy, you lying MCs sure are dandy, so I cross-pollinate to make you daffy lying pussy. Wallowing in a field of crabgrass ass rappers, tell them to run, oh my God. Here comes Kid Lock. Go tell your mama.
This little old man, he wanna lick a tom-tom. He's got mad flavor, banana with a humby diggy he dum. Abdul is about to come. Feel the rhythm that I give him and the wisdom that I drop. You can't stop it, can't top it. Take a biscuit, sop it. It's ethereal, quite literal, more advanced than fiber optics. The truth that I flip may cause inflictions. I rip the script with conviction. I mean this. Alright, I grips the mic like the fiendish Malik A. Willow B. Super genius at science and mathematics that allow me to say this. Not an ego, let's say we go back to Uraeus. You rob us, Uraeus, flee the chaos and confusion. Stimulating the five senses is not a mere illusion. Love and wisdom is art, put it together like fusion. Soldiers poised us out to give a new world a contusion. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down on Helen from the sun. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down, I am the sum of none but one, composed of 6 gods in the mix. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down on Helen from the sun. Hum-ba-diggity, hit down, I am the sum of none but one, composed of 6 gods in the mix. Heretics and some critics, they say we rank first. We're not the baddest of the bad, nor the worst of the worst. We strive for some embodiment in harmony with the universe. So weathered, we're unmovable like Mount Kilimanjaro. Africans will laugh again, so I say no sorrow. We are the people of the day before yesterday. We are the people of the day after tomorrow. I have a dream someday that our youth will be walking down the streets, contemplating living on ginseng roots. Giving hell to those who aren't hard for sure, but for show. Pretending what you hadn't thought but said and didn't know. Claiming sets, throwing up gang signs. Society's got you snared. What the hell is that sign language for the
Oh man, we up. We up. Oh man, my kid's been messing with my damn camera. Hold on. Good God Almighty. Look like somebody. Look like I had a haircut. So low. Or head cut off. Man, oh man, oh man, family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get started. We need to get this thing started. Let's go on and make sure we up on all of the channels, family. Y'all know tonight. Y'all know what it is tonight. You know what it is tonight. You know what it is tonight. Oh, that is not what's supposed to happen. I am sorry. Yeah, we're going to discard that. I don't want no damn photo. You know I ain't pull you up for no photo. Pulled you up for... Oh, okay. No wonder it was different. All right, let's see. All right, so I'm trying to find the one on... All right, cool. Check it out. Check 1, check 2, check 3. We are up. We are up, family. We are doing folk tales for grown folks here live on Giami Journey Media. We're going to talk about the folk tale of the day. You know, I don't have to play no intro music because we was blessed by Mr. Deity, one of his beats at first. We had Riz, and with, of course, with Storm 9000, and then also we ended with Brother Malik. And speaking of that, you know, let's do our thing. Let's do what we know how to do here at Journey. Let's support our community. We're going to talk a little bit about that today with this folk tale. So let's go.
Women, but most important goddesses were black, not just for the African now in the civilization of the Greek. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey. The woman who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her is Circe, who is represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the golden fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero, is a
To have melanin embedded in our skin is a gift.
Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black? Too strong? Yeah.
We were born to be great.
Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black.
You were born to be great.
Now ain't no sound, but this one, the sound about to come on this one. I could take it off here to me.
Ayimbobe is an acronym. Mind, Body, and Universal Balance Empowerment Institute. It is also Zulu. It means lion, of course. With that, we're working with resiliency. We're working with trauma-informed care. With all of the mind-body connections that we need to not only address so many of our ills, but also to heal from them. There's no one giant step that does it. It's a lot of little steps. Author unknown. How do you regulate? Yoga, meditation, and Bube. Mind, body, universal balance, empowerment. We're waiting for you. How do you regulate?
Peace, family. Yo, thank you for joining us. Right? And I'm thrilled to announce the fact that we are now releasing our first free e-course. Come and learn about Geometry Journey. See some of the stuff we do. Come and join the tribe. Tribe up with us and check out the free e-course. And we'll make sure that the URL pop up right about here. And it'll probably be somewhere in here. Check us out, family, because we are building. Come and learn about Geometry Journey, and let's build together. I have to read it again. They weren't even up on oh man, I'm so sorry, Spreaker and where the rest of the world. They heard on Instagram, huh? Come on, read it again. Gina gonna read the story again. People wasn't able to hear it. I didn't have my sound bars up, so I didn't know y'all couldn't hear it. Go ahead and read it again. So now you got some practice. Go ahead, knock it out.
A bear boasted very much of his
philanthropy. You messed me up. Philanthropy. Okay. Philanthropy or whatever. Go ahead.
Saying that all of all animals, he was the most tender in his regard for man, for he had such respect for him that he would not even touch his dead body. A fox, hearing these words, said with a smile to the bear, "Oh, that you would eat the dead and not the living."
Okay. All right, so once again, we're going to give her a round of applause for being bold enough to come back and read it for us again. Because her daddy messed up. Sometimes we got to go on and get each other's back, even when we mess up. So here we go, family. The title of the story, once again, is The Bear and the Fox. And we are going to be looking into this story. And as you can see up on your screen, I have several different translation of this. The translation that we mainly use is by George Fowler Thompson. I'm using a book from Forgotten Books called Aesop Fables. I don't know if it's still as cheap as it was, but this place is an excellent place for you to get old school books in the public domain books. This is a public domain book. Right? And what public, I mean, you look up public domain and really understand the power of finding a good public domain book. All right. So, a bear boasted very much of his philanthropy, saying that of all animals, he was the most tender in his regard for man, for he had such respect for him that he would not even touch his dead body. A fox, hearing these words, said with a smile to the bear, "Oh, that you would eat the dead and not the living." So the fox is kind of mocking the bear, right? And doing some research on this one, just a little bit. They ain't gotta do a lot. All you gotta do is type in some stuff sometime and stuff pop up. And you'd be kind of surprised what pops up with some of these folk tales. All right, let me get this up off of here. So we got one overall definition where they don't define where it comes from. A bear bragged about how kind he was. He would not touch a man's dead body. A fox told him it would be better if he ate the dead instead of the living. So once again, this fox is being, excuse me. The fox is being, is being smart with the bear. And he's like, "Yo, man, okay, so you don't eat, blah, blah, blah." But what I like about this one is that they do what they call the moral of the story. Let me go and highlight that for y'all. One is known by deeds, not by words. This bear is bragging about his kindness. This bear is bragging. Cleve, did you make sure you turned the heat switch on? Okay. Did you turn on the fan? Don't worry about it. So you ain't turning nothing else on. All right, cool. Because it's getting kind of chilly around here. So we trying to hit the heat. So one is known by deeds, not words, is one of the lessons that's come up out of here. But let's go and look at some of these other translations. A bear was bragging about how kind he was, saying he would not even touch a man's dead body. A fox, on hearing this, said with a smile, "It would be better if you would eat the dead instead of the living." because this bear is known for what he does, and he's bragging about his kindness. I'm so philanthropic. I'm so beautiful and kind that I won't even eat the man's dead body. But the fox is looking at this and they ain't seen this bear get down. This bear eats everything, but it brags about what it don't eat because of a certain reason. Now, first off, as being in the animal kingdom, the fox is also looking at this dude probably like, you fool. You know what I'm saying? You need to eat men wherever they are, because they tearing up our world. But anyway, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get into that in a little bit, because we're gonna talk about this and bring it home to some of our personal issues as well as some of the issues that's going on in the world. Leave it alone. It just came on. What temperature is it on?
Tell me it was on 73.
Okay. It'll come on. It's about to kick on. If you listen right now, you can hear it kicking in. All right, so let's look. We already did the Townsend version. We're going to go to the JBR collection. A bear is said to be unwilling to touch the dead body of a man, and one of the animals was once heard making a virtue of this peculiarity. Such is my regard for mankind, said he, that nothing on earth would induce me to injure a human corpse. Your kindness would impress me much more, said a fox who was listening to his speech, if I could believe that you paid the same respect to the living that you profess to do to the dead. Now, we have many, the bear sound like he running for office. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? The bear is propping himself up and talking about how marvelous he is, how kind he is, how philanthropic he is, right? Or tropic, not tropic, philanthropic he is, because he's not eating something dead. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that you would eat the dead and not the living. You know what I'm saying? Our politicians, right? They won't eat the dead, but they sure will eat the living. You know what I'm saying? We see this all the time and stuff that they're doing. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of this shit, because family, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to bring it to where we are. Once again, call in lines. Let me make sure that's up. 614-556-4535. Let's look at this. Let's look at this and let's have a discussion about this folktale here. Hold on. Because I'm going to slow down a little bit. I'm going to give somebody else a chance to get some of this one. But hey, you know what I'm saying? Because some of these can have discussion, which I will force. I will do my thing to try to force the discussion, because the issue is, family, I want us to be a thinking people. I don't want us to be a people of belief. You know what I'm saying? I don't want us to just be a people of trust. I want us to be a thinking people. You know what I'm saying? So that we can start looking and breaking stuff down together. We don't have to come to the same conclusions. We don't even have to agree. All I'm saying is, family, it's time for us to start thinking, because people have been lying to us all this time, and we've been thinking it's good. The bear is trying to make himself look good for this dumb. This is dumb. The fox is wise enough to know. But of course, the fox can say this and get away from the bear. He's fast enough to get away from the bear. He's agile enough to get away from the bear, because he know the bear. He just wished that the bear had the respect for the living that he has for the dead, especially a dead human. Out of all things to have respect for in the wild, why the body of a dead human? Why brag about your kindness and your dignity to the human kingdom when you are reaping hell and causing havoc in the animal kingdom? We have people in our community that are just like this. You know what I'm saying? They're very, very respectful in other communities, but when they come to our communities, they raising hell. They tearing things up. They become the coldest and the boldest and the meanest motherfuckers on the planet. When it comes to our affairs in politics, we have politicians. We have black politicians that have the same philosophy as this bear. I am so kind, I am so philanthropic to the white man that I would not even eat his dead body. I am so philanthropic to, you know what I'm saying, to the black community. You know what I'm saying, that I would not even provide you with things to live. I respect your dad. I'll show up to your funerals. I come at the bad times. But when things are really, 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 when you really, really need me, I'm nowhere around. A person, it says, one is known by deeds and not words. Now, I want to kind of focus on this just for a minute. Not only is one or a person known by his deeds and not his words, but communities are known by their deeds and their words. What do that mean? I mean, let's really look at this, because for the last few weeks, I mean, because every now and then I get on some things. Now I'm constantly on the reparations tip, because like I feel that somebody needs to be, there is groups of us out here that's really talking about this whole reparations piece and how these stimulus bills that's going through. I understand. You know what I'm saying? America's been fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody fucked up, so they need to do something. But the one thing that this pandemic has shown us is that where there's a political will, a way can be made. Period. We've been told for the last few years, since people have really started reevaluating this whole idea about reparations, that America could not come up with the money to pay reparations. And they showed us that without a bit of doubt. What they showed us is for the American teacher. I want you to think about this. What they're doing for the whole country right now, if America was serious about educating our young, they could have did the same thing for all teachers. They could have did the same thing for black folks that built this country. But the political will was not there. Right? So, every now and then I jump on a bandwagon, and it's something that I want to explore. Now, this time, because like I said, I'm still on that reparations, and we need to really talk about, because I said that bill was 800 pages. The new one that the House just passed on the Senate, I said it was 800. I stand corrected. It was 1,800 pages. Now, first off, I don't know why they need to write something that goddamn long. And they talk about they want a citizen. This is a citizen-run country. They know for a fact that most citizens in this country don't have enough time to sit down and read 1,800 pages of anything before they pass this shit. So one of the first laws we need to go on and make is that I'm honestly believing that there's very few instances where a bill need to be over 10 pages. I know I'm ignorant in politics, but I'm thinking that a truly smart motherfucker and somebody that's really interested in making changes, I don't think you need 1,800 pages to do that shit. I think it should be short enough so that a man or a woman after work should be able to sit down and read a bill right after they get done eating their dinner. Not take 5 days off so that they can read this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We need them not only talking to each other, we need them talking to us. Because there's a lot of stuff that's being passed and being squeezed into these bills, because when you start reading them, you be like, I was looking just on the surface, and I'm like, what in the fuck does some of this shit have to do with COVID-19? They was making shit fit. They needed 1,800 pages so that they could make some of the shit fit that they put in there. But brother, I tell you what they got to do with all this. One is known by deeds and not by words. Now, let me bring it back. So, in this last 1,800 page bill, family, they mention ADOS, black folks. However you want to look at it. Maybe 2 times. And the victories that they talk about that we got out the bill have to do with, of course, some type of prison reform and letting people out of prison and and SNAP or food stamps. Now I got a question. One is known by deeds, not by words. How in the hell is black people are we supposed to celebrate every time they pass something that serves everybody? But then you read through the bill and you see all types of groups getting all kinds of kickbacks. You know what I'm saying? Our Native American brothers and sisters got $50 billion. Billions of dollars. Now, I'm not hating. I'm just bringing it up to you. Right? They're a specific group. Immigrants got hooked up. But they don't mention you. One is known by deeds, not by words. But all politicians that look like us, that come from us, hype up the fact that, you know, they was able to get a couple of $1 billion for some extra food stamps and get some people released from prison. That don't even cover, that cover might maybe 15% of who we are, if even that goddamn much. What percentage of us are in jail? What percentage of us on food stamps? I mean, we really, somebody out there, we need to start getting these numbers, because some of this shit is foolish. Some of us is being lied to. Some of us are being deceived. One is known by deeds, not by words. So now bring it around. Bring it around, Brother Hatim. So along with all this, I've been on this kick for the last couple of weeks about our communities, those of us that are in the know. And for years, we have been, some of us, for years, we've been in the struggle and we've been in the know. I just want to ask this question. If a group is known by their deeds and not by their words, what deeds have we allowed ourselves to be defined by? And whose deeds have we allowed to define us? A thought hit me today, once again, and the thought was very simple. And it said, freedom is not free. If we are going to move forward as a group, we got to get people working on our behalf 24 hours a day. Freedom is not a part-time job. I might even text that shit out. Freedom requires full-time attention. Because once freedom is, well, why are you working towards freedom? You need somebody to be in there to organize it, to move us towards it. But then after freedom is received, after freedom is taken, you need individuals who are there to protect that freedom. One is known by your deeds, not by your words. Family, what have we been saying and what have we been showing about our desire for freedom? Our words say freedom. Our words say we want liberations. But the question that I have to ask each one of us is very simple. What are our deeds showing the rest of the world? Are the deeds that we're practicing, are they leading us to this thing that we call freedom, to this thing to where you know, we are taking our seat at the table? Because no one, see, America is not a place of kindness. Yeah, there is some philanthropic individuals in America, but America is not driven by kindness, and it has never been driven by kindness. And usually Usually, if you just watch the movies that come about this motherfucker, they'll let you know. Because a lot of times in those movies, the good guys don't win. As a matter of fact, in all of the comic book movies, the bad guys are usually the richest motherfuckers in the whole thing. They got access to all types of shit. They let you know in their movies. Have you ever wondered how some of these wicked motherfuckers of America is based on kindness and love? How could some of these evil motherfuckers have what they have? America wasn't discovered on kindness. It was discovered on deeds of underhandedness and knocking a motherfucker up over the head and taking what it was that you wanted. But a lot of us don't want to deal with that. Right? But then a few of us are like those foxes, and we're able to look at that shit and call it for what it is. As the fox say on here, oh, that you would eat the dead and not the living. Many of us are the fox in here. You know what I'm saying? Because we are able to look. We can't necessarily do anything because we're not big enough. We're not strong enough to take on the bear. But we can say the words that this fox say, oh, that you would eat the dead and not the living. This bear, man, this bear, we sharing a table with a bear. We sharing a country with a bear. We built the country with a bear. And many of us think that we're going to be able to get out of the situation we in by having people do freedom work part-time. Family, I am dead set on moving our efforts towards being able to get individuals that are able to focus on what we need as a group full time, working directly for the community, not with no grants, not with, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about this sustenance is basically coming from our group. Our group. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the reasons I launched the whole piece about GME support, G&J Media support. Because I said, man, there's enough people out here where we get something like that popping off in at least one part of the country. And once we are able to show a little success here, listen, as creative and spontaneous and incredible and resilient as we are, once we're able to do it in one place, it is spread like wildfire. Get between 1 and 5 individuals per city that are working directly for the community, unbeholden to anyone, able to say what's on their mind, truly free. Set an example of what it really looks like. Being able to stand up to that big nasty bear and bust that motherfucker up over the head when it starts. Tame him like he in the circus. Get the bear to stand up in Congress and turn around in circles. You know what I'm saying? Jump through a hoop. That's what a free man could do. A free woman can do. They could train a bear. They could break the bear's spirit and guide that bear around. A fox can't do that. But a free man can. A free woman can. You know what I'm saying? Take some of these pitifully long, unreasonably long, stuffed up bills that they send in these places to get themselves and break themselves a little bit of extra money and get them and be able to break it down and take some time and really be able to bring the information, bring the true information to our people. Not just this conspiracy shit, because it's crazy to me how some of the people with all these conspiracies got all this time to be finding this shit. You know what I'm saying? You read some shit and you read it, and we got some people out there that can find a conspiracy anywhere. It's like You know, he was reading those folk tales. You know, those folk tales was founded by the Rothschilds. You know, the Rothschilds put them together, and you know, the oldest Rothschild put it together in 1862. You know, because he knew that eventually somebody would be looking at these folk tales, and he thought that if he was able to control the folk tales, he'd be able to control the world. I mean, this family. We have to get some of our brightest and some of our strongest and some of our bravest individuals, and we need to identify those in the community, and we need to start making ways for them to make a living. And you know what's crazy? That a lot of these individuals just want to serve, not be taken advantage of. They just want to serve. They would like to have a car, but they don't need a car to get around. Y'all know these people in the community. They would like to have a car, but they don't need a car to get around. But they would love to have a car. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to own a house, but they would like to own a house. You know what I'm saying? They would, they put full forth their effort, and they'll work with the children. They'll work with the elders. They'll do what is asked. They volunteer and really ask for nothing. Their deeds match their words. And when we find those young and those middle age and even some of those elders that have been like that consistently for years, you know what I'm saying? We need to go and support that. We need to get small groups. I mean, because I want y'all to think about this. If out of every, I mean, because I don't even know how many is in Columbus. Let's say there's, I don't even want to do the math. I'm not even going to do the math. But this is a real serious concept that we have to really start thinking about, family, because we need individuals whose job and whose livelihood is not dependent on others, but on us. You stop serving us. You know what I'm saying? You betray us. Family. Where you staying? What you driving? Where you going? Why you even around here? You know, this is why we can have traitors in our midst and not do anything. You know why? Because the traitors will never serve us anyway. They're betraying us, but they are not beholden to us. So they don't necessarily have to have fear of us. Just saying. Because they know our deeds. They know our deeds. Right? They feel they hear our words, but they know our deeds. You know, like for example, I go to that Malcolm X documentary. And the question that I know a lot of brothers and sisters is asking, how could an individual that killed somebody that we have holidays for have died by natural causes, basically of old age, and lived a good life in the community? I know I can't be the only one that's like, how in the hell, how could an individual that betrayed somebody that was working in our community be able to be interviewed later on and be able to, in a sense, brag about what they did? How is that possible? Because they know our deeds. All I have to do is say it was about the money. It makes it all right, right? Ain't nothing higher than the money, because this is what we are, in a sense, instilling in our children when we are impregnating them with these escape fantasies that we have for them. You know, I know you by your deeds. One is known by deeds, not by your words. Not by your words. What does your deeds do? What deeds? What deeds are we doing on our own behalf? You know what I'm saying? I want you to think about this. A majority of our lives are spent serving others, building up other communities, establishing wealth for others. And we wonder why our children are mixed up. But Dad, I see you. I see you. I see what you do. I see what you do. But just you let me for, not really being interested. Because I see what you do. You work for others. Our deeds have led us to live in individual lives, in individual caves. Living alone in a group of people. In a place that used to be known as a community. And people know our deeds. They hear our words. They hear some of the wise words that we have. Come on, family. But hey, what y'all just gonna let me go on and hog these two up to myself? Call in line 614-556-4535. 4535. I know it took a long time to build up to it, but I got the conference call open 614-556-4535. All right, but hey, thought he said you would eat the living and not the dead. Kwame Keisha, don't ask for anything you are not willing to take. Damn. That's true, Kwame. That ain't even pop up on my screen. Oh, because I'm not on the I'm on the wrong screen. No wonder. I'm sitting up here like, wow, that didn't even pop up. That is a good point, Kwame. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at what Kwame said again. Let's pull it up. It says, don't ask for anything you are not willing to take. Bear willing to take. He just kind. He won't eat you when you're dead. You understand? Come on now. How kind is that? You know what I'm saying? Thought he said you would eat the living and not the dead. Thought he said you would eat the living and not the dead. He said, hold on. Oh, that you would eat the dead and not the living. Oh, that you would eat the dead and not the living. He brings torment on the living by eating them, which makes them dead. And he walks past what's already dead and won't eat it. Backwards. Some backwards shit. Hold on. Somebody just put something else up. I thought I was according to this thing, I'm in a room by myself. So I got to be very careful with all this. Because I see, talk about it. Everyone can't be reached. And that's the point, sis. I'm not trying. I stopped doing that. I'm never trying to reach everyone. I'm trying to reach our tribe. I'm trying to reach that tribe because there is a core group of us right here in America. It's a stubborn minority here that could make a major difference. In every city, there's a stubborn minority. There's a group. There's a small group. It only takes a small group of dedicated individuals to actually change a place around. So I don't speak to everybody. I don't expect large numbers. I never have. I do, like I said, I do what I do because this is what I was born to run my mouth. I came out, I probably came out talking. So I found a way to be able to talk about some stuff that we need as a group. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really interested in those who I have to go on and convince. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times as a matter of fact, I see it everywhere we go. We spend more time with individuals that don't want our attention than we do with those that do. I know you by your deeds. We'll spend that 2 hours with that hard to reach, hard-headed dude, and we'll allow that individual that's eating up our words to possibly get 15 minutes. Then wonder why that one that used to eat up our words is now wayward. We do it in the schools. I mean, all of our institutes, all of the institutions that we create are about redeeming those that don't give a damn, but it's all, but leaving those who do give a damn alone. Rather than being about building institutions where individuals that are hungry want to come in. And the ones that are hungry, we're feeding them and we're bringing out the best in them. I know you by your deeds. You're going to go after the rough knuckleheads, and we leave those that are doing what they supposed to be doing alone. I won't save this one. We can see it in our choices in relationships. We can see it in our choices of football teams and it's just crazy. You can see it's like, oh my God, everybody loves an underdog. And I'm like, yo, it's time for us to start grabbing those that are ready to get on the train, those that are ready to get on the ark. It's time for us to set sail. Stop waiting. Like I said, you could throw those crumbs out. But we need to focus the energy on those whose minds have already been, they done broke through. They done broke through the illusion. And we need to clean them off and we need to get them together. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole institutions in our community that's all about redemption. We need to redeem people. No, it ain't even about redemption, because redemption means that you admitted in many cases that you was wrong. We got whole institutions that's designed and produce a pretty penny that's designed to save. Think about that. Our whole model has been to save rather than to redeem, rather than to enforce. It's all about saving, pulling everybody. Bring them in. That shit don't work. And and if I'm wrong, prove me wrong. Because we have been in neutral, possibly for the last 100 years. Brother Kwame said, we tend not to eat what has an indeterminate death. Healthier to know what's killed by your own hands. Well then, that don't explain that chicken that a lot of y'all be out there eating. Y'all put a little grease on it, it won't make a difference. I feel you. I feel you. But the bear is still an asshole for bragging about that shit. The bear I believe that the bear got an alternative motive. Maybe he running to be the head woodsman or something. I don't know. I believe the bear got some alternative motives for bragging about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And the fox just caught him, caught him real quick. I don't know. I don't know what was on Aesop's mind when he wrote this, but I think the bear was running for some type of office. And he just wanted them to know, look, I think I will be good for this office because I won't eat the dead, but I'll take from the living. God damn it, he ain't say it like that. Let's just be clear here. Let's be clear, right? So once again, I think we had better conversations with the Proverbs, but I'm not gonna hold y'all up. I appreciate those that took the time to stop in, and some people will come in a little bit later. That's how we do it here on the journey. But family, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank all those that are on the Giame support Let me go and put that up for those out there. Also, I must have typed in the wrong thing because it didn't show up. Let's go. All right, let's see. There you go. All right, so you can be a supporter. Also, be sure to check out Baba's. Bears can afford to pass. Many of us cannot. You right. You know, and that's a situation that the Bears have set up for us, right? You know what I'm saying? That, or better yet, that's a situation that many of us have set up for ourselves. Or helped to maintain. Let me put it that way. We help to maintain this. Because we're not pulling together. We'll pull together. It's crazy, man, family, because what I'm talking about is not unheard of in our community. There are pastors who work full-time for the community. You can't tell, but they're getting their money from the community. We have the models. At one point in time, the pastor's responsibility was not just to go out here and save souls, but to fight for justice. The pastor used to be, in a sense, the superhero. He was the Batman, the Superman, the Black Panther. What in the hell happened to us? I'm just throwing it out there. You know what I'm saying? This is why, in many cases, if the nation can afford to, this is why their ministers. This is why they ministers are supported by the mosque. They can speak their mind. They're not beholden. They can model what it means to be free. For us in the conscious community, what are the models that we are providing for our young people of what freedom looks like, what it tastes like, what it feels like? Give them somebody that's coming from us, right? That is getting, in a sense, the sustenance from us, right? The success in life, the happy home, the car. All this came because I served my community. But what do we get? Because I'm just being honest with you. Let me tell you the deeds that I see. I saw my elder. I saw one of my elders pass away, and we had to raise money for him to be buried. I saw him struggle for damn near the whole time that I knew him. I call it the Pan-African Retirement Fund. And that shit is not inspiring, family. I hear the community's words. I hear the conscious community word. I hear the woke community's word. I hear the liberations and the Pan-African families' words. I hear all your words, but I know your deeds. How are we supposed to motivate another generation to fight? Right? When Harriet Tubman lived better than most motherfuckers is out here fighting for the rights of our people. Come on now. The first thing we want to start, some of us in our community want to start talking about is grants and shit. How do you grant yourself? How do you get grants to free yourself? I'm just saying, this is the mentality. We can write a grant. Wait. See, because, I slow that shit down when it comes to jobs. Wait, hold on. First, we got to be able to prove that we could do some shit before we throw any money we get from outside is supplemental money. It'll add the rims to the car we have already built. Goddamn it! It'll throw a paint job on the vehicle that we have already got moving. It will not purchase the motherfucking vehicle that we're driving. It will only make the vehicle look better. You know what I'm saying? So somebody come and say, well, y'all owe us. Well, shit, we can strip that paint off. Right? Come on now. You know, because, we have everything in our community that we need. We just got it all going in the wrong place. It has the words. It don't have the deeds. It has the words. It don't have the deeds. And it's time for us to start doing the deeds, at least for some of us. Because it don't take all of us. It was never a large group that got freed. It was always a small group that made sure that everybody had to make a critical choice. Either you going for your freedom now or you gonna stay stuck forever. Right? Brother Kwame say the brother whose song you play as prelude to the show, can't think of his name. He along with Carter G. Woodson tell of roles of pastors came to play. The brother whose song you play as a prelude to the two shows, can't think of his name. As a prelude to the show. We gotta sit down and talk and break that down. Grant yourself permission. Tell the truth. Welcome to Detroit. Oh man, I got another sister in Detroit too. But anyway, family, I ain't gonna hold y'all because y'all know we about to go off on Instagram, and that's cool. But like I said, we had conversation popping off. Like somebody called in at 614-556-4535. We keep this going until Brother Hatim fall asleep, because this type of talk I like to have, because this is where Folktales take me, right? One is known by his deeds and not by his words. Dude, I want you to understand that other people are measuring us by our deeds. Other groups feel comfortable by coming into our community and draining it of funds because of our deeds. They ain't gonna do shit. They might talk a little bit, you know. In the case of outsiders, right? Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty true when it comes to dealing with motherfuckers outside, because they don't know nothing. So they really can't say no words to really hurt me. It's the inside where the words can really hurt. They know we just gonna talk loud. Talking loud, saying nothing. All right. Peace out, Instagram. All right, family. I'm going to go on too. I got to get up. Got my venture. I got to go and chase down some babies tomorrow, possibly. Got a couple that I can't get in touch with. But let me go on and get this show together. Let's see. Oh, my fault. Make sure y'all check out Baba Kelsey's book. You talking about Charles Campbell? You interviewed him and speak to the Black Elite Illuminati. Oh, you talking about Brother Charles Campbell. I had to stop playing the song because of, with some copyright stuff, and it's something. I want to make sure that y'all get Baba Mariba Kelsey's book at maribakelsey.com. That's maribakelsey.com. 11 Steps, Considerations for Empowering African-Centered Organization by Elder Mariba Kelsey. Excellent. It's more of a special report. You know what I'm saying? But he has some insight. He has insight from his last 75 years of organizing our community, man. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to think about that. 75 years. 75 years of organizing our community. So you get that at maribakelsey.com. It's coming across screen right now. You ready? MORIBAKELSEY.com. maribakelsey.com. 11 Steps, Considerations for Empowering African centered organization. Folktales for grown folks. But let's do this.
To have melanin embedded in our skin is a gift.
Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black. Too strong? Yeah.
We were born to be great.
Oh my gosh, when I say too black, you say too strong. Too black.
We were born to be great.
AYIMBUBE is an acronym. Mind, Body, and Universal Balance Empowerment Institute. It is also Zulu. It means lion, of course. With that, we're working with resiliency. We're working with trauma-informed care. With all of the mind-body connections that we need to not only address so many of our ills, but also to heal from them. There's no one giant step that does it. It's a lot of little steps. Author unknown. How do you regulate? Yoga, meditation, and Bube. Mind, body, universal balance, empowerment. We're waiting for you. How do you regulate?
Peace, family. Yo, thank you for joining us. Right? And I'm thrilled to announce the fact that we are now releasing our first free e-course. Come and learn about Geometry Journey. See some of the stuff we do. Come and join the tribe. Tribe up with us and check out the free e-course. We'll make sure that the URL pop up right about here. And it'll probably be somewhere in here. Check us out, family, because we are building. Come and learn about Geometry Journey. And let's build together.
Word from the wire.